From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Welcome to a holiday weekend edition of Colts 360. I am Lara Overton and joined by a very special guest this week, Colts alum, former Pro Bowl tight end, Jack Doyle. Great to have Jack in the rotation on the Colts podcast and doing everything he does to contribute. So felt like a fitting opportunity to bring you in studio, bring you onto the show as the Colts prepare to face division rival Jacksonville at home on Sunday afternoon. Jack, going in particular, coming off of the Monday night loss, you're looking at this two-game stretch ahead, critical division games. Colts hoping to keep those playoff hopes alive. As a veteran, put yourself in the place of the vets in this locker room. How do you maintain a unified front?
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a challenge when you the skid that's kind of been happening over the past month and a half. But you get another opportunity to go play football, and sometimes it helps coming off going into a short week, and you had a tough loss on Monday night. You kind of just got to get right back into work and get ready for Jacksonville, a team you just played and know well, and you want to go make amends for your performance you had down there. So that kind of plays in your favor when you're coming off a tough loss. You get a short week. Okay, we just got to flush it, forget about it, and get right back to work. And it's going to be up to the core group, the guys that kind of been around here for a while, to bring the energy, bring the details that are needed when you're prepping for a week, and you throw Christmas in the middle of the week. It's a tough challenge for everyone around the NFL. So yeah, I speak highly of this veteran group and the way they carry themselves and the type of people they are. I know they're going to make sure everyone's locked in and ready to roll. And
a guy who we know can thrive even on a short week is Philip Rivers, a guy who you played with in 2020. Certainly you are not surprised whatsoever with the performance, especially on Monday night, that Philip put together. But what has impressed you most about Philip in his return?
Well, just the fact that he wanted to do it, right? I mean, that's what impressed me the most, is just as a man, not fearing the failure that could be, the embarrassment that could come with. Like, he didn't care. He just got another opportunity to go play football, help out a friend, and see how this thing goes. I mean, what a great lesson for kids everywhere, right? And I know it's his high school team he's coaching. I mean, what a great lesson for them, his own kids, for my kids. I'm showing them that example, right? Credit to him and kudos to him for just going and attacking it. But man, how he played on Monday night was so fun to watch, and just watching him just get right back into it. That's the most impressive part. He took off 4.5 years, whatever it was, and then still be able to go out there and throw a timing route and hitting Pierce on the couple post routes. I mean, what a player, man, and what a man. So I'm having so much fun just watching him work and hearing him call plays. And it's like I know the plays he's calling, so that's fun for me to kind of know what's going on before the snap happens. So yeah, just so impressed by Phil and the way he's carrying himself.
What, you're 3-4 years removed? Could you even fathom?
No, but it's fun though to be like. He makes you feel like you could do it, though, right? I know I'd be on, like I always joke with people, I'd be on IR after warmups, but Phil's playing for all those former players out there who think we still have a few plays left in us, right? And that's what Phil's given us. He's given us hope that, like, hey, he's playing for all of us. He can do this, right? Yeah, maybe I do have a few plays. I'm not going to go try and prove it, but maybe I do have a few plays left in me. So it's fun to see players from all over, even different sports kind of rally around him. And I know they're all tuned in for Monday Night Football.
That's incredible to see him back. I know it has just kind of been, an infusion of energy and optimism within this locker room. And a couple of guys who you played alongside, who Philip played alongside, were recently recognized and announced as Pro Bowlers this year. Quenton Nelson, Jonathan Taylor, both back to the Pro Bowl, a Pro Bowl career yourself. How deserving are these guys, of course, of getting back into, that caliber of recognition? And then also, how impressive is it the fact that these guys are continuing to play at the level that they have?
That's the most impressive part, is just being able to sustain that year after year. Speaking of Quenton, I think has he been in the Pro Bowl every single year since he's been? I mean, to sustain the high level of play that he's had year after year, I mean, that's so hard to do. A season is so demanding, and then you got to get into an off season, and you got to hold yourself to a standard in order to prepare yourself for the next season. And then you think of Jonathan Taylor, same thing. It feels like year after year, and you're playing the running back position. I mean, some of the hits I remember just like, you hear some of the hits, right? When you're blocking and you're playing with them, and then you hear some of the hits these guys take, and just to bounce back up, and then again, to prepare his body in the offseason to get ready to go play a full season, you know, two guys who just carry themselves to, you know, to the Colts standard, and couldn't be two more deserving guys. And
certainly one guy who is on track for a Pro Bowl type career, the rookie Tyler Warren. What has impressed you most about what he's been able to do, especially at that position so quickly?
Yeah, that position's hard, right?
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I'll talk about it, right? You know, you're asked to do a lot of different things, and now he's kind of, you know, now he's playing with different quarterbacks. Like, I mean, that throws another wrinkle into it, and the way he's been able to, you know, show up in the run game as a blocker, and then still getting out in the pass game and making plays, you know, it's just so impressive. The way he carries himself on the field, and the patience he has in his routes, right? It's finding the open areas that things that you can't teach, things you can't coach, right? He just instinctively does them and becomes a quarterback's best friend when you don't have to have all those conversations about, hey, when you come out of this route, I need this angle. He just naturally does it, right? And so that's what's been so impressed with me, and excited to see where his career is going to go.
You mentioned blocking and that factor, you know, in the run game in particular. Obviously, we mentioned JT getting back to the Pro Bowl, but of course, the run game in this last stretch of games, certainly on this losing streak, has not been what it was through the first 2 months of the season. What's it take to get that run game back on track, in particular against Jacksonville, because that's going to be a huge part of your success on Sunday?
Yeah, you know, and Jacksonville's really good against the run, so it'll be a tough challenge, but the run game's so finicky, right? It can just be one thing here, and then the next time it's one thing there, and then when you're shuffling O-line, I know we've been banged up a little bit there. That obviously throws another wrinkle into it, but it just takes one little thing, right? And one little extra half a second on a block, or, you know, little different leverage on your block, and then you get the home run threat of Jonathan Taylor, where, you know, he can, you know, turn a game where it's, you know, we're getting 3 yards, and then there's the 60-yarder, right? And then next thing you know, he's got 150 yards in the game, right? It's things like that, right?
The explosives,
the explosive runs that he has is just, we got to keep leaning on guys. We got to keep pounding the run, because it's going to come. It's going to break, and obviously teams are, you know, have been kind of selling out and running backers through, and different schemes that are trying to stop Jonathan, because that's our best player, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. So yeah, it's just getting into those details, and guys giving a little extra and in the details and when they're blocking. So hopefully Jonathan can pop one here, and we can kind of open things up.
Excited for the Colts' final home game of the season Sunday afternoon at Lucas Oil Stadium. An exciting holiday week, I know, especially in your house with 3 young kids. Indianapolis native, obviously. Is there one in particular holiday Indianapolis tradition that is a favorite of the Doyle family?
Ooh, the Christmas traditions. Those are good. You know, we got our staples. The Sullivan's train.
Obviously.
Shout out Pat Sullivan and the operation they got going on over
Local
there.
legend, Pat Sullivan.
Oh, yes, and the Sullivan's train, and going to the North Pole and seeing Santa. That's a staple for us. Pat always gives me crap because, you know, we always rent out a whole train with the whole family. He's like, you can't be doing that. You know, quit stealing a whole train from everybody. But so yeah, that's a fun tradition. And going to the fairgrounds and seeing the lights, you know, that's another staple for us. So there's so many great things to do. And my kids are at such a fun age where they're still all in on it all. So so we're trying to cherish those years and really take them all in.
Awesome, Jack. Always appreciate the time and the insight. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Still ahead, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, is back in studio, and he's delivering some cold, hard truths as the Indianapolis Colts prepare to host division rival Jacksonville on Sunday afternoon. That's next.
Needed somebody this season to turn into a 10 to 12 to 15 sack guy off the edge, and you know the Colts just haven't been able to produce too many of those, what Rick likes to call first wave sacks, when the quarterback's at the top of his run.
This message is brought to you by Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, and proud sponsors of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. While the Colts have it 2nd down and 7 to the 20-yard line. 10:45 to go in the first quarter. This is the first drive of the game for the Colts on offense. And coming up, this will be the 9th play of the possession. Rivers goes out of the gun, ball on the left hash. 3 receivers go to the right side. Here's a flag on the play. Rivers has a free shot, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! In the back of the end zone, it's Alec Pierce, and the play covers 20 yards to the house. Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! And the Colts score a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. 4-down lineman for San Francisco. Rivers out of the gun, backs the pass. He's got time. He throws up into the end zone, and it's touchdown! Pierce again! Touchdown! Number 2 tonight for Alec Pierce, and it covers 16 yards to the house. Pierce having a huge game. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y, 14-13 the score.
It is the season of giving and holiday cheer, and that was certainly true for Alec Pierce with those 2 touchdowns that Phillip Rivers gifted him on Monday Night Football. Joining me now, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor. We talked about season of giving, season of cheer, but it is also the season of truths, and that's why we have enlisted Maytay here to deliver some hard truths about the Colts as they go in another home opportunity this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, let's talk about some hard truths for the Colts. And, they're on this 5-game losing skid right now. I think the first hard truth is just that the defense is fading away, down the stretch. And, that Monday Night Football game, giving up over 400 yards of offense to the 49ers and 5 touchdown passes to Brock Purdy, which, by the way, for him is a career high. That was tough to watch. So the hard truth is, on that side of the ball for the Colts defense during this 5-game losing skid, in that span, Lara, they rank 31st in passing defense, 31st in yards allowed, and 28th in points allowed. So, I know that, injuries have been a theme for that side of the ball consistently throughout the course of the season. DeForest Buckner comes back in the lineup last week, and, tip of the cap to him. He's playing his tail off, and I don't think he was, to be fair, not making an excuse for him or the defense. I just don't think he was playing at 100% after missing the last 5 games with a major neck injury. But he's back, and he's given it all that he has. But the secondary's been down. A lot of key players consistently throughout the course of this season. Charvarius Ward's going to end the year on injured reserve. Sauce Gardner's missed the last 2 games. But the middle of the field has been taken advantage of by opposing quarterbacks consistently throughout the course of this season. And we talked about it last week, the big plays. The last 5 weeks, the Colts are giving up just too many big plays. On Monday Night Football, the 49ers post 11 plays that covered at least 15 yards in the last 5 games. That number is now up to 39 completions over 15 yards. So it's just really disappointing because 2 weeks ago against Seattle, the defense, they played their tails off. Situationally, they were great.
Did not allow a touchdown
didn't
to
allow a
that
touchdown.
explosive Seattle Seahawks
Gave
offense.
up just 6 field goals. But then, if you would have told me last week going into Monday Night Football, the Colts, point total allowed is going to start with a 4, I don't think I would have believed you. And so that's just, again, the state of this Colts defense. That's where they're at right now with the hard truth on defense.
And part of that comes from not being effective with the pass rush.
Yeah.
And you thought with the return of DeForest Buckner, the attention that he often draws, that might create some opportunities on the edge.
Yeah, on Monday Night Football, Brock Purdy dropped back to throw 34 times, and the Colts had just 1 hit. They had 1 sack and 1 quarterback hit, and it came on the same play. It was a Latu sack. And
strip sack that they then recovered.
Right,
even that couldn't go your way.
Exactly. The ball kind of flutters up in the air after the strip sack. It's recovered or caught in the air by a tight end who runs upfield for a cheap 3 yards. But, yeah, the Colts on the season, Lara, they've got 37 sacks as a team, but that's been kind of spread out throughout the defense, right? The hard truth is the Colts they've got 9 players on the team with at least 2 sacks, but they haven't been able to produce that dog or that guy, that
dominant
stud
guy off the edge, yeah.
Right, and listen, don't get me wrong.
An ambient player, as Rick Venturi would call him, right?
And I get it, right? I know full well that, guys like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, they don't grow on trees. There's only a handful of those guys in the NFL, but the Colts desperately needed somebody this season to turn into a 10 to 12 to 15 sack guy off the edge, and the Colts just haven't been able to produce too many of those, what Rick likes to call first wave sacks, when the quarterback's at the top of his drop. You get the guy down by beating your man off the edge, beating a tackle, off the edge by a guy like Latu or Quiddy Pay or Samson Ebicom.
You talk about, getting home to the quarterback from the defensive side. Meanwhile, this run game has struggled to get home, and that was something that was so effective with Jonathan Taylor. Quickly, Mayte, want to touch on what we have seen, these unfortunate trends in the run game certainly have lacked the explosives in the run game that were such a pivotal point of the Colts' success early.
Yeah, the hard truth there, I'm going to hit you with the numbers. I mean, during this 5-game losing skid, the Colts rushing attack, 30th in rushing, 30th in rushing yards per game at just 81. 31st in yards per carry at 3.5, and that's in complete contrast, like you said, weeks 1 through 12, when the Colts are humming and people are talking about Jonathan Taylor being an MVP candidate. I mean, weeks 1 through 12, the Colts rank 4th in rushing, 1st in yards per carry, 1st in touchdowns, 4th in runs over 10 yards. So I know the quarterback change has played into it, but also teams have figured out that they can kind of stack the box and slow down Jonathan Taylor. It's got to be up to this Colts offense and the coaching staff to find, despite all of that, with the defense and the different layers of the defense creeping up towards the line of scrimmage, it's got to be incumbent on the Colts still finding ways to get Jonathan Taylor in the second level, bring some more efficiency to this run game, help out the passing game with Phillip Rivers at quarterback.
And certainly this task this weekend gets no easier given how good the Jaguars have been defensively. Also the fact the Colts are dealing with injuries along their offensive line. You obviously saw on Monday Night Football they were starting without Bernard Ryman and without Braden Smith, then lose Tanner Bortolini at the center position as well. So hopefully you can potentially, get a guy like Bernard Ryman back and healthy. We'll see how Tanner Bortolini progresses this week through concussion protocol. Danny Pinter, though, did a great job stepping in, a veteran presence there in the middle. But that offensive line certainly has endured its share of adversity and has really continued to try to produce for JT. Hopefully that happens to get him back on track Sunday at home. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Still ahead on Colts 360, join the Indianapolis Colts as they are singing carols to some very deserving children this holiday season. That's next.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy is our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers and enter for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 60 at Snickers.com/halftime. It's time for the Fordham Credit Union Question of the Week. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor and left guard Quenton Nelson were named to the Pro Bowl this week. Nelson is just the second offensive lineman in NFL history to be selected to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 8 seasons, along with what other player? Joe Thomas. Thomas made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 10 NFL seasons with the Browns from 2007 to 2016. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
Santa Tuck.
You say Merry Christmas. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus! Yeah! It's Santa! Santa, go say hi. I'll hold you.
Santa gets the microphone.
Santa gets the hot mic. Yeah, Santa.
Here we go.
So low. So low.
I don't know about so low.
You better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Laughing all the way. Ha ha ha. Bells on bobtail ring. Making spirits bright. We're grooving there, Trey. Hey. Man, I feel like we have as much fun as the kids do. Frosty go. Whoever does these books, we got to have a real talk after this. On the Frosty,
We started with Thumpity.
I was like, that's not even on ours. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Happy holidays, guys.
Welcome back. And what you just saw, one of the many ways the Colts have spread holiday cheer throughout the season, singing carols to patients at Peyton Manning Children's Hospital and their families alongside members of the Colts cheerleaders. Also recently, a group of Colts wide receivers took some very deserving kids from Big Brothers Big Sisters on a holiday shopping spree at Academy Sports. So we'll leave you with that this week as we wrap up our final Colts 360 of 2025. Don't worry, though, we'll be back next week for that Week 18 matchup against the Houston Texans. But we will also see you Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff against Jacksonville. We hope you have a healthy and happy holiday.
What's up, guys? I'm Alec Pierce. I'm out here with my fellow wide receivers and the rest of the Colts organization. And we're out here just with the Big Brothers Big Sisters in Indiana, shopping, doing some Christmas shopping at Academy Sports.
Is that EYBL? I love basketball. I used to play a little AAU back in the day.
I'm not gonna lie. These might fit you for real. You like the jogger type or like the loose bottom?
You can't go wrong with a basketball, man.
I know, right?
You play inside or outside? That's the basketball I always played with growing up, like an indoor, but if you take it outside, it gets destroyed, you know? It's like that one. I actually have that one. It's a nice one.
A couple basketballs, a football, okay. I like the Colts football. I really like that. We got a couple water bottles for hydration. Need that. So I see you got a basketball. You got basketball shoes? So it looks like we need to get some basketball shoes then. Come on.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go, yup.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Says dual athlete right there. We got the basketball too.
Don't worry, I'm not eating them all. I'm not that big, just so you know that. Cause I gotta pay my friend back.
Okay, plain. I mean, this right here, black. No? Oh, these?
No, yeah,
These? Okay. All right. So you said kid 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have some LeBrons.
We're ready to hoop. You can't tell. It's basketball season, right?
I got some Nike socks.
Crocs and socks.
Then I have a cup.
There you go. Let's do it.